Everybody, welcome back. It's Stizzy here with Rise of the Ronin, and we are on the cusp of the final, well, I can't say for certain it's confrontation, because we're supposed to be just going to a negotiation, peace treaty meeting. Maybe not a treaty, but supposed to be negotiating. And hopefully come to a peaceful resolution, but hey, we all know there's not going to be a peaceful revolution. There will be a confrontation. There will be a fight. And that's why we're bringing our swords with us. But we've said our goodbyes to, well, not all of our allies, but the allies who are here. And now just need to talk to Katsu and get the climax of this game started.
Have you met with everyone you wanted? When you're ready, head to the Satsuma base.
I say climax. I'm assuming it's climax. It's really got the feel of it. There's been a couple false starts in this game, it feels like. Times where it felt like we would, leading up to a conclusion, but then it would open up to another part where you could explore or do side quests or something like that, but... do you have any last things you want to say to me?
Enough of that. Not the type to get sappy.
Well, I didn't mean exactly like
I
that.
found a place that does good eel recently, though. Soft and plump like you wouldn't believe, with just the right amount of sauce. Quite exquisite. I'll take you there. My treat. But first, we have work to do.
I've never had eel, but I'm sure it's delicious. Done what I needed to do. Let's go.
No need to be so stiff. It's the difficult things that end up the most interesting. Never be so uptight you can't enjoy the moment. Right then, let's go.
I'm all for letting it out, take it easy, but this is the future of the country we're talking about here.
No time for games or evasions. Let us be straight with each other. Naturally, I came with the same intention. So let us talk. First, the new administration's requests.
Well, just coming straight to us, eh?
It is time to end this.
Now we're talking.
You are determined to
Yep.
interfere. Death is done. I know you better already.
Wait, she can flame up one weapon and put paralysis on the other? Speaking of flaming up. Oh, stop. Hey.
They're only using you.
She activated Beyblade. Oh, she's just flipping all over the place. Oh, nice.
Without war, what purpose?
I think that's the first time I've actually pulled that off in a fight. Dang. Hard to predict her moves, but I think I can just outlast her.
It's for you that I seek to change the world. Stand aside. We are Bayou's edge. We are meant to be together. And wait a minute. If I can't reach you, Then I must be the one to kill you.
Am I supposed to be pressing something, or?
We'll stop you, no matter what.
There's always
Ow, ow,
been
ow. Okay, alright. Let's just calm down, sister dear. If this was a traditional Souls game, I would have died long ago. She's probably on another phase. It's over, sis. I got plenty of medicinal herbs where that came from. Shake on it.
I wanted to make a world where we could live together. Just let me die. By your hand.
Ooh, I was wondering if a choice like this would come up. Well, she's done a heck of a job destabilizing the country, and she's killed quite a few people. Not that our character has much room to talk, but we did it mostly in self-defense, mostly. So, and I guess she just wanted to create a world of anarchy and constant warfare so that they, as veiled edge assassins, would always have a place in it. Very sort of outer heaven-ish sort of motivation, but yeah, sorry sis. Can't let you get away with it. You couldn't make it cleaner, man? Look, it's symbolic. The sun is rising on a new day in Japan.
Look,
Oh, is that it? The city on fire?
Edo is ablaze.
Oh, you're right. That is actually fire. Oh, that's what she's saying. Well, at least she gets to die doing what she loved, pretending things were on fire.
Can all that I have done have been? Thank you for stopping me.
I guess if he'd cut her head off, we wouldn't have heard her express her regret. Which, coincidentally enough, she confessed right before she was about to die. The Ronin is arisen. Oh, we got epilogue scenes. Looks like Shogun's going on a journey alone of perhaps enlightenment. Who knows? They've already adopted Western wear. I see they're getting into the spirit of things. Oh, remember the good time when we'd sit around in the geisha house and have talks about the future and our feelings? I guess I had to do something here in the epilogue since he dies off screen, or at least he did in my playthrough. There's Okita. I don't think I ever heard anything, but presumably he also died off screen, so... America, fuck yeah. Oh, look at Ryoma. Going to America. He's like, yep, I've messed things up permanently there, so I've done my part. Time to bid adios to Japan. Well, what we saw there at the end sort of gels with historical events. Like I said, I've said in previous streams, it's basically, I don't know what the genre is called, historic fiction, just with a historical fiction or something like that. I don't know if there's an actual name for it or not, but a fictional story based around a true time in non-fiction history. That's a really weird way of saying that. I don't know why it did word sound like that, but yeah, but at the end there, yeah, Japan kind of phases it as the imperial regime and army comes into power. They start adopting more, Western technology and tactics and all that, and so on and so forth, and make great leaps and bounds. But yeah, I did like how this game did explore, the conflicting ideologies with the past and the new, like, and trying, like, there are benefits to adopting, more, Western sciences and technology and whatnot, but don't want to lose your identity and your culture and the soul of your nation in the meantime. So a lot of characters like Ryoma and even like Katsu and some others wanted to try to strike a balance or whatnot, and yeah, it was obviously, it's not easy, but yeah, like I said, I don't know exactly how things work out. I recognized a lot of the names in this game. They're based off real people that lived during that time period and were quite influential in the shaping of events in Japan at the time. But but when you add anytime you have a historical fictional game like this and you introduce an original character, it's gonna be kind of tricky to navigate, and I think this game did an alright job having your character be a Ronin, being sort of part of things, but also sort of kind of separated, where you met all of these historical figures and you had an effect on them, but ultimately, like, how much of effect did our character have on what happened? Or even like our Blade twin, like how much did she really influence? Because that was just final confrontation. That's it. Game's over. And it kind of happens in a small vacuum away from everything else. She doesn't even... I was thinking of this as after the fight there. Our Blade Twin didn't even really interact with most of the... like, any of the characters or any of the people in the story. Like, Rutherford and that ambassador guy from way back beginning of the game. Can't remember his name. Guy with the beard. So yeah, her especially, even though she was, although she did, at the very end, she was part of this Sekihotai. But, yeah, I guess that's why she just didn't really feel like she had as much influence on things as our character did, even though, like I just said, our character, main protag, also didn't really... You know, at the end, things probably played out the same way they would have, regardless. Now, I haven't played the... I'll have to go through and play through the game through the Pro Shogunate, because a few episodes ago, there is actually a point of no return, which was kind of one of my main gripes about this game, is that it feels like you're just flapping in the wind, your allegiance going back and forth, and there's almost no repercussions for it. And I was talking to my buddy the other night who's played and beaten this game, that it's after every fight, you wouldn't kill your opponent. They would just be, oh, I can't believe you do this. I'll meet you again. And then you could do a side quest for them, maybe 10-15 minutes later or something like that. And obviously in game time, that's just game time. That's not like in world time or what have you. And it was kind of jarring when we fought Saga, or what's his first name, Sozo, I think, something like that, the head of the Sekihotai, and that's it. First time you ever meet him, you fight him, you kill him, he's dead. He's out of the story for good. Because I wasn't used to that. Used to people coming back and maybe teaming up with them later or doing missions with them or something like that. So, and that's what I think that kind of fed into what makes this game drag on, because I do think this game is very bloated. I think it is too long. The open world is nice. It's got some nice scenery. It's cool to see landmarks recreated from that time, period, of what they would have looked like, and there was care into it. But graphically, this game doesn't blow me away, or didn't blow me away. It's very good, and that's not the first thing I look for in a game or anything like that, but I figure with a game in 2024, and especially a game that is exclusive to one console, that it was mostly kind of an issue with the resolution I had with it. It's like a lot of the environments and assets didn't look quite as sharp as they could have, and while there was a lot of detail in the designs, sometimes things just didn't look like they had the right texture. Sometimes they looked a little too dull, but there were times when things looked really nice. So ultimately, I didn't have an issue with it. It didn't, like I said, it didn't wow me by any means, but it was good to look at. This game has a lot of symptoms and a lot of signs for, it's obviously Team Ninja's first attempt at an open world game, and I don't remember if I said that in an earlier episode or not. I thought about it, but I wanted to double check to see if that was correct, and it actually is. It's all the Team Ninja games before now have been much smaller in scale and scope and much more linear than this game. Even though in this game, the open world, it follows the same formula as a lot of open world games. What has kind of been known colloquially in the industry as Ubisoft formula, where you just have icons on a map and you go scope on one point to point to point to point, just picking up collectibles and maybe doing side quests and what have you. And it just didn't. I did like going to locations, but after one time, that was it. There wasn't any really any time where I saw some point on the horizon. I thought, man, I want to see what's over there. It was usually just, oh, okay, I see on my map there's a treasure chest here or a shrine. I'll just go there and collect what I need to, and then just move on with the story or whatever. So, excuse me, I had to clear my throat. So, but I think for a first attempt, it was okay, but it was, like I said, it got a little too much fat on it. It needed some trimming. My buddy said it could have probably taken 10 hours off this game, and I kind of agree. That would probably be a good time. I think either if you're gonna do an open world game, and I've said this for years, you got to commit to it, and you got to make me as a gamer want to be interested into going to a new location just with my own eyes and not just points on a map, because like it just becomes just like way too like it's just like busy work at that point. It's almost like doing chores. I've equated it to kind of like mowing your lawn. You're just going up and down, just clearing space on the map so it clears it up. And which you don't have to do, but I kind of I'm kind of have a little OCD, so whenever I see something clogging up a map screen, I got to go there. But my favorite part of the game was probably the characters. Even though, like a lot of things in this game, I think there are a tad too many. I'm sure most of them are. I'm sure pretty much all of them are real people. There might be some original characters besides the main protagonist and the Blade Twin. Obviously, their mentor is probably an original character, and other Veiled Edge assassins and whatnot. But yeah, I just felt like you just didn't really get even. Giving gifts and talking to people, didn't really feel like you had enough time to get invested in these characters, and most of them, they would have a minor role in some point in the story, and that would be it. They would have nothing else to do. They may show up, but they wouldn't play any sort of critical role or nothing like that. And it just was, who was your favorite character? You invest time and gifts in them. But there was for some of the characters, there was actually good development. I did like Ryoma, even though he got kind of on my nerves at time, how kind of wishy-washy he was. Which, I guess is kind of rich playing a Ronin, because that's kind of one of my issues, is that our character is a little wishy-washy, and there's not a point earlier in the story where one side says, okay, no, we're not associating with you anymore. You have done too much to help this other side, and to also sabotage our efforts. So you're officially an enemy now, even though you still call yourself a Ronin. But yeah, it's not until very late in the game, so it's, yeah. Doesn't seem like it punishes you one way or the other for choosing pro-shogunate, anti-shogunate. And I guess it's a way developers of not trying to tie the hands of the gamer, but in this instance, if you make the game shorter, more on that later.
But the samurai spirit lives on, and new horizons await.
Time to bring civilization to another corner of the world.
Between Kaishu Katsu and Takamori Saigo, The shogunate forces surrender Edo Castle. With that, those who dreamed of a new dawn for Japan succeed in avoiding full-blown war in Edo, saving countless lives.
Oh, is it taking me back to the open world? Yeah, I guess so. Mission complete, the Veiled Edge. Oh look, we got her outfit. Post-completion features. You completed the main storyline and unlocked the following features. The Midnight difficulty setting is now available. Use the Testament of Soul to play Midnight missions and obtain Masterwork equipment. Ally missions have been unlocked. Use the Testament of Soul to play high-risk, high-reward missions. Breakthrough skills have been added to the stats menu. Learn the Mumio Kaishin Ryu. Mumio, might be pronounced. Combat style and other special skills that will enhance the protagonist. Okay, no. Maybe something to look at later on, but okay. See, even here, okay. ISIS trailer, revolution. Oh, okay, I can even do more missions after the fact. There's probably, well, I know there's some. I think there was one, a mission for Kondo. I didn't do, and I can't do now since he's dead. But yeah, there are a few kind of around. It's so crazy that Seki Hotai still controls half the city, or actually most of the city, even though killed their leader and most of their members. But yeah, like I said, they could have shortened this game up a little bit, make it a little tighter, a little leaner, and a little more focus on the story, developing more characters, more specifically, developing your Blade Twin, I think. Just it's having her be more of a part of things and instead of just sort of kind of like a spark plug or just like a match that literally or figuratively light things up. Because everybody, even though she was trying to plunge Japan into all-out war time after time after time. Everybody just kind of just seemed to defer to our character instead of wanting to do something about it on their own. Like, okay, we can't just have this woman, this assassin lady, just carrying on like a war. We need to set up a trap or try to track her down and take care of her or whatnot. Because, yeah, she keeps going on like this, things are going to get out of hand and get out of control. But I did like Ryoma, like I said. I did like Genzui. I thought he had pretty good development. Probably the best of any of the characters of the game, quite honestly. How he started off very, very headstrong, very reckless, trying to carry on his master's teachings and his visions, but also at the same time, I think, misinterpreting them and then learning on that he needs to try to find a better path, and that maybe compromise wouldn't be the worst thing, because it is still your countrymen that you're fighting against. It's civil war, so. But yeah, this, I think, for a first foray into a wider scope, a open world game, I thought Team Ninja did a pretty good job with this game. Technically, I touched on this before, not too many issues, although there was that one issue, the guy clipping through the ground, but that was the biggest one. Maybe one thing I did notice, and I think this might have gotten patched in, because this is taking me like 4 months to play through this game. It's taken me quite a while. I not shy to admit, I did kind of lose, my interest did wane through my playthrough here, because this is getting close to like 100 hours or something like that. So it's taken me a while, but overall, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It's not going to be my game of the year. That's for sure. That's probably still Rebirth. But there's still some other contenders, and there's still some promising, good-looking games I haven't played. I still haven't played Wukong yet. Partly because I was waiting to see if they would release or announce a physical edition, but they haven't yet. So I might just have to buy it digitally. Even though I'm more of a physical game collector. I prefer my physical media as opposed to digital, especially with all these companies saying, yeah, you don't really own what you buy. You're more like renting it. We could take it away anytime you want to, which you always kind of suspect with digital media, but to hear it out loud is quite another thing, but I digress, like usual. So yeah, but this is a solid game. I would give it, oh, I don't know, probably an 8 out of 10. I said it, 7 sounds too low, 8 sounds a little too high, but I don't like going into the 7.5, the halves or anything like that. So I'll give it an 8. It was a fun adventure, fun game. Combat was pretty good. It was pretty good. It felt simplistic, and it was a lot easier than I thought it would be. But I guess for a game, more open world game, it's not like their usual Team Ninja games where it's a smaller scope and difficulty and challenging fights are more the focus. This game, it's more about the story and the characters and the world, so can't have combat be too punishing, although there were times where it got tricky. But my point is, you get so many healing items and power-up items. I guess I didn't I didn't really try to invest the effort to try to get better. I played a little bit more carelessly than I would in a game that would be developed by Team Ninja or whatnot, but it's not their usual game, so they definitely, I think they wanted to make it a little bit easier, so it's you're not constantly getting your butt kicked at every single boss encounter or whatnot. So, but gameplay was good. I liked the sheer number of combat styles and the types of weapons, and there's a lot of different types of armor, and I like how you can change your appearance of both your weapons and your clothing and armor, and even your character, even your blade twin. For the map, I think you can. I never did, but you can actually change the look up. But I never did. I didn't mess with their appearance. But yeah, it was nice to change how the weapons and the clothing looked and all that. And yeah, it was, like I said, I overall enjoyed this game. Had some fun with it, but at the same time, I am glad to be done with it because it's taken so long, both actual playtime and actual time. But I've said repeatedly, I just kind of do this for fun. So. And I've been a lot of other games I've played in the meantime, and there's more I hope to play in the future. As for the next game, I'm likely to record. I was thinking maybe after playing such a long game, and I think even before this I played Rebirth, which was even longer than this game. I think I want to go for a shorter game. And well, it's not exactly new. I did pick up the new RoboCop game, and that seems like the perfect balance to this game, to just mostly in game size and length and whatnot. So I think that should be good. Even though it's not October, I don't really have any spooky games to play, so that'll have to do it. I mean, playing a cybernetic cop in Detroit is, it's City of Detroit scary enough, so that should fulfill the the conditions for Spooktober. But yeah, thanks for if you stuck along with me this long, then I very much appreciate it. You've proven quite patient. Like this has taken quite longer than I intended, but it's finally here, finally done. And I hope to see y'all for my next playthroughs and the ones after that, because I want to try to get these out a little bit quicker. I want to get a little bit better at this. But we'll see. But we've made that promise before. But I will definitely make more an effort. But until then, thanks for tuning in as always. And whatever game I play next, I hope you're back tuning in for that one. So until then, y'all take care.